Guys, Deanne here from Canada Abroad, and thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of FAQ Friday. This week, we're going to be answering the question, am I eligible to participate in the International Experience Canada class, also known as the IEC, and to some people just known as a working holiday. The working holiday is only actually one of 3 different categories that falls within the International Experience Canada class. Depending on your country of nationality, you might be eligible to obtain either a working holiday, a young professionals work permit, or an international co-op internship permit. Now, each of these is very different in terms of requirements, and some of them are open work permits where others are employer specific, which means you would have to work for only one employer in one position that would be listed on your work permit. Now, to start from the beginning, only certain people are eligible to participate in the International Experience Canada class, and it's dictated by the citizenship that you possess. So if you are a passport holder of a certain country, that's the first thing that you're going to be looking for. If your country does not participate in the IEC program, then you're not likely to be able to get a work permit through this category. There are a few private agencies that can assist certain passport holders with getting a working holiday through this program, even if their country of nationality is not on the list. And this is more specifically for citizens of the United States, and there's some other countries as well. So if you click in the description below, it'll take you to a list of countries that can get one of these working holidays through a private organization, even if their citizenship is not listed under the actual IEC program. Now, as long as you are on the list of nationalities that are available and able to use the IEC program, the second thing that you're going to want to look at is your age. Because depending on what passport you possess, you might only be eligible when you're between 18 and 30 inclusive, or between 18 and 35 inclusive. So depending on what country you're from, so the United Kingdom as an example, if you're 31, you wouldn't be eligible to go through this program anymore. Whereas a country like Ireland, you would only be ineligible once you turned 36. So that's the second thing you would just want to take a look at and see if based on your age, if you would be applicable to go through this program or not. Now, the way that the application for this works is you don't need to have a job offer in place, depending on the category that you're applying through. So anybody who is looking to get a working holiday, which is an open work permit, meaning that when you get to Canada, you can work in any occupation, any location for any employer that you would like. So you're not going to be tied to one location or one employer. For the working holiday, only some countries are eligible to obtain this. And once it's issued to you, depending on your country of nationality, it could be valid for 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months. So again, if you click in the description below, we're going to provide some information on which citizenships get which duration of months available for the working holiday. Now, with the working holiday, once you go into the system, so the first step is that you actually have to create a secure IRCC account, and we've provided the details for that in the description below as well. You'll go in, you'll create yourself an account, and then you create a profile to enter yourself into the IEC program, and that's going to cost you $153 Canadian to do that. Then what they do is throughout the year, they select people from that system to go ahead with their work permit application. Now, depending on your country of nationality, there might be a certain quota on the number of work permits that they can hand out per year. And for some countries, it's unlimited. So depending on where you fall, you may or may not get selected to submit a work permit application. If you're not selected, you would have to wait for the following year and try again. Once you are selected to go ahead with the work permit, you would need to make sure that your passport is valid for the full duration of what you want your work permit issued for. So if it's a 2-year working holiday that you're eligible for, you want to make sure that your passport is going to be valid until the end of that 2 years. You would need to provide a digital photo. Depending on which country you've been living in for the last 6 months, you may or may not have to do a medical examination. You would have to provide police clearances, so for any country you've lived in for 6 months or longer since the age of 18. There will be some application forms that you will need to submit. And when you go to submit the application, they're going to charge you $100 for the application fee. You will also later on be required to undergo biometrics. So that's just your digital fingerprints and photo. And they're going to charge you $85 for that. Once you've submitted the application and it's approved, you're going to be given a letter that allows you to go and enter Canada. And when you arrive at the airport, that's where they're actually going to physically print out your work permit for you. And depending on, again, which country you're from, that is going to be issued for 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months. Now, the thing that's important to note is, number one, if your passport is expiring, they can only issue it to the expiry of the passport. So if you have a letter that allows you a 2-year open work permit under the working holiday program, but your passport's only valid for a year, that work permit that they print for you is only going to be valid for that 1-year period. The other thing is you have to have health insurance to cover you for the entire period that you are authorized to be in Canada. So same thing applies. When you get to the border and you present them with that letter, they'll ask you for the proof of your health insurance. And if you were entitled to a 2-year working holiday open work permit, but you only present them with health insurance to cover you for 1 year, they're only going to issue you that work permit for 1 year, and you will not be able to extend its validity later. So you want to make sure that your health insurance is issued and available when you arrive at the border, and it's good for the full duration of what you're entitled. So that is covering basically the working holiday program. So again, it does not require a job offer. And when you get to Canada, you can work for anybody in any location. So it's an open work permit. The next category is the young professionals. And again, only certain citizenships are entitled to this. And again, if you look below in the details section, we provide the link of where you can check which program you are eligible for based on your citizenship. Now, with the young professionals, you need to have a job offer from a Canadian employer. They don't have to do a labor market impact assessment. They just need to provide you with a written job offer. And the position that you're being offered has to be a skilled position in an OA or B National Occupational Classification Code. So if it's a low skilled position, it wouldn't qualify for this program. They also say that this job has to contribute to your professional development in some way. So, you would have to explain how the position you're going to take is going to contribute to your career path, or if it's related to your previous education or work experience, that's what they would be looking for. And this work permit, when it's issued to you, it's going to be tied to the specific employer and job to which you provided them the job offer. So it's not going to be an open work permit like the working holiday. The next category is the International Co-op or Internship program. And this is for people who are currently enrolled in a post-secondary educational institution. And they are required to do a co-op or internship as part of their degree requirement. And this program also requires a job offer from a Canadian employer. But again, they don't have to do the labor market impact assessment. They just have to provide you with the written job offer. It also needs to be in a skilled occupation and contributing to your professional development. And this one, again, when it's issued, it's going to be for that specific employer in the specific occupation listed on your job offer.